Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack your sources and pull out those key insights for you.
Glad to be here.
So today we are getting into Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
A classic, truly.
Absolutely. And it seems simple, almost charming on the surface, but wow, does it pack a punch with some profound truths about us, about human nature.
It really does.
Our mission today really is to dig into excerpts from To Kill a Mockingbird. Justice, empathy, and courage, and just extract those lasting nuggets of knowledge, the things that still hit home today.
Yeah, justice, empathy, courage, they're right there in the title, and they absolutely resonate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite something, isn't it, how a story set way back in Macomb, Alabama during the Depression.
Yeah, through a kid's eyes, Scout's eyes.
Exactly, through Scout's perspective. How it still challenges us, on integrity, on prejudice, even now, 60-plus years later?
It really does.
It kind of draws you in with all that childhood stuff. Scout, Jem, Dill, their games.
Right, the Boo Radley myths.
Yeah, all that. And then, bam, it confronts you with these deeply uncomfortable truths about society.
It's quite the shift, and, it's often called one of the greatest novels ever written. I think digging into it today will really see why it holds that kind of place.
I think so, too.
Let's maybe start with Atticus Finch. His defense of Tom Robinson. It's central, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely central.
What makes it so powerful isn't just, the legal arguments or the facts.
No, not at all.
It's really knowing that the whole system, that whole town is stacked against him.
That's precisely where Lee is, just brilliant. She lays it bare how facts, actual objective facts, often just crumble against the accepted stories, the prejudices of a community.
Right.
The trial. It stops being just about whether Tom Robinson is innocent.
Yeah, it becomes about something much bigger.
It really becomes about Macomb itself, about its almost subconscious need to maintain its racial lines. It shows how even a system that looks fair on paper can be, twisted by prejudice.
Yeah.
It's actually heartbreaking to watch.
It is. And Atticus's courage in the middle of all that,
Right.
it's not flashy heroism, is it? It feels different.
No, it's quieter.
Yeah, it feels almost personal, like a quiet, maybe even weary commitment he has to make. How does Lee make that feel so impactful?
Well, I think that's exactly it. He knows the odds are impossible. He tells Jem he's licked before you begin.
Right, I remember that line.
But his commitment isn't to winning, it's to his own conscience. He tells the kids, the one thing that doesn't abide by majority rule is a person's conscience.
Powerful.
So his defiance isn't about a big public show. It's this deeply internal moral stand. He has to do it, even knowing he'll lose, because his integrity demands it. He says you begin anyway, and you see it through no matter what.
So it's a lesson for Scout and Jem, obviously, but it feels like it's for us, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's this internal battle playing out publicly. A model of moral fortitude, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. But the book's not just about the trial and that kind of courage, right? Lee also digs into how we judge people, especially people who seem different.
Definitely. And that leads us straight to Boo Radley, doesn't it?
It does. And Scout's journey with him.
That whole arc is just masterful.
Yeah.
Scout goes from being terrified of this neighborhood legend, this sort of monster figure.
Yeah, fueled by gossip and fear.
Right, to finally seeing him as a person. A quiet kind of damaged person who ultimately protects her. It perfectly illustrates what Atticus tells her, doesn't it?
The line about climbing into someone's skin.
Exactly. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. Then you climb into his skin and walk around in it. Scout actually does that, metaphorically, at the end, standing on Boo's porch.
And it's such a quiet moment, but so powerful. It shows how the novel chips away at those easy judgments.
It really does. It asks us to look past the surface, past the rumors, and see the actual human being there. That's empathy, right there.
Which brings us, I suppose, to the Mockingbird idea itself. It's so famous.
The central metaphor, really.
And it feels like it's about more than just saying innocence is good. It seems to carry so much of the book's sadness, its weight.
I think you're right. Lee uses it so effectively. Atticus explains it simply. Mockingbirds just make music for us to enjoy. They don't do harm.
It's a sin to kill a mockingbird.
Precisely. So in the story, the mockingbirds are the vulnerable, the innocent. People like Tom Robinson, who is destroyed by prejudice despite his clear innocence.
And Boo Radley, too, in a way.
And Boo Radley, yeah. Harmed by cruelty, gossip, isolation. There are these inherently good or harmless beings who get crushed by the flaws in their society.
So the metaphor highlights the cost, the real human cost. of prejudice and cruelty.
Absolutely. It shows the fragility of goodness when faced with ingrained injustice. It lists the story, makes it more than just a morality play. It's profoundly literary.
And I think a huge part of why all this works, why these themes hit so hard, is Lee's writing itself. The characters, the dialogue, they just feel so real.
Oh, completely. You feel like you're in Make-em, you know these people. Her characterization is just superb.
Which makes the moral questions she raises feel less like abstract ideas and more like, well, urgent real-life dilemmas. It feels timeless, but also really relevant now.
And I think that's exactly where To Kill a Mockingbird stops being just a great book and becomes something more, like you said earlier, a mirror.
A mirror, how so?
Well, it doesn't just let you observe injustice from a distance. It kind of forces you, the person reading or listening, to look at yourself, to confront your own capacity for courage, for empathy, or maybe even for prejudice.
That's a powerful way to put it.
It asks uncomfortable questions.
So, as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, thinking about those core themes, the courage of Atticus, Scout learning empathy for Boo, the terrible injustice towards Tom, we're left with those questions, aren't we?
We are.
The questions Harper Lee seems to be asking directly, not just in the book, but like you said, to us, to you listening. Things like, faced with that kind of pressure, that kind of certainty of defeat, would you have the moral courage Atticus showed?
It's a tough one.
Could you genuinely look past the rumors and fear to see the humanity in someone ostracized, someone like Boo Radley? And maybe the hardest one, if you saw real injustice happening right in front of you, would you actually find the strength to stand up against it?
Those aren't easy questions to answer, and I think that's the point.
Yeah.
That's why, over 60 years later, this book is still taught, still discussed, still feels vital. It does more than just tell a story.
It stays with you.
It really does. It kind of leaves you with a heightened conscience, maybe. It pushes you to keep thinking about human nature, about society, about the challenges that, unfortunately, are still very much with us.